Did you have an announcement?
I needed to announce something, yeah.
Okay.
If you could, Michael, why don't you just ask those people if they want to
Okay.
talk. I am Zahava Stroud, Michael's wife and business partner. We're glad to have you here today. And we're doing something fun today. One of our sponsors has donated a high-def television for a raffle, and that is Limbo. And at the end of this keynote by Dan Novak, Danny from Limbo will explain to you how you can be in this raffle to win the high-def TV. I'm going to tell you one part of it, which is when you are done with this session, we're going to pass out to everybody a floor plan of the exhibit hall. And the exhibitors in the exhibit hall, which you probably saw in the studio suites, have little stars. In order to be in the raffle, you just have to go to 3 exhibit tables, have them put stars on here, just 3 spots, and return it at the front desk. And then when we have the raffle, which will be at the end of the day, the person who wins the raffle must have turned this in order to win your high-def TV. So if you win the high-def TV and didn't turn it in, you don't get to take it home. Obviously, the point is to drive traffic to the exhibit hall. So Danny will be telling you about how you're going to win the high-def TV, but we're just going to pass these out, and then right after lunch you can go in the exhibit hall, get these stamped, and then because we'll have the buffet food out there, and we'll be having lunch in here. Okay. All right. You want to introduce Dan Novak?
How many people here are familiar with media flow and with DVB-H? Just so we know what kind of, okay. Since we're in a Hollywood space, you never know. A couple blocks away from Universal Studios. And for how many people is this a new concept? We have anyone in the audience? Okay. We've got a savvy audience, or we have an audience that is too embarrassed to say otherwise. But we really are, in my view, on the verge of live mobile television, which is going to be light years ahead of what we have now in place. Of course, MediaFlow is already, through Qualcomm and Verizon, has already been introduced, I believe, in every one of the major television markets, and I'm sure Dan will have something to say about that. I think Dan has one of the most interesting jobs in television these days. He's really firmly entrenched in television's future. He in television, all aspects of the trade for many years. So he is taking those same tools and transferring them to create, I believe it is at this point, 8 channels of live television on mobile phones. So Dan, without any further ado, let's give Dan a hand.
Thank you and good afternoon. I'm Dan Novak, head of programming and advertising for MediaFlow USA, and I know it's something that's always said at these conferences, but if everyone could take just a minute and take your TV and turn it on, I would appreciate it. Hopefully next year at this same conference, many of you will have TV and MediaFlow on your cell phone, but it really is a remarkable time. As Michael said, I've spent my entire career in television, first as a broadcaster, a reporter, producer, then went in the cable industry, and then for the last 10 years ran a regional sports network where we were one of the first networks to launch high-definition TV. So I spent the last 10 years and the last 5 years specifically doing HD TV, creating content for that. 50-inch screen with surround sound. For the last 18 months, I've been trying to work with an organization and define what that 2-inch experience is going to look like on mobile. And because I'm a TV guy, I want to show some video and not just work off a PowerPoint. So I want to show you a quick sample of what media flow is all about. Thank you. So I wanted to talk just a little bit about the mobile space, the TV space, what we think we know about the consumer and what they're going to need and want, and a little bit about media flow specifically. And the first slide really suggests the point that everyone's talking about television and how meaningful it is and how it's changing and, you know, the fragmentation of that viewership audience for live TV. The reality is, yes, it's being fragmented, but people's love for TV is not changing. How they're consuming is changing, whether that's through a DVR, on broadband, and really now through mobile. I spent last week in New York for the network upfronts, and mobile is the thing that is really on everyone's mind in terms of how do these great brands and these programming sources take advantage of the mobile opportunity. So TV is big, it'll continue to be big. How it's consumed is what's really changing. Next up, if you think about that opportunity, and Michael asked a question earlier about the 2%, and I think that's a consistent number. There are projected to be just under 270 million cell phone users in the United States alone by the end of this year. And there are only around 6 or 7 million of those people who have TV of any shape or form on that device. Translate that to the television marketplace where you've got, what, 300 million Americans, 210 million TV households, somewhere around 80% of that marketplace paying for cable or satellite TV. So the opportunity is really tremendous if that concept of mobile on the device, on a mobile device, is meaningful, and we believe it is. So back to that point, if there are only about 7 million mobile TV customers, depending on which analyst you talk to or which report or which study, the projections are kind of all over the map, but the rack rate and the growth rate, I think, is pretty consistent. And here's an example where they're saying that will multiply 4 times on the revenue side in just a couple of short years, as will the penetration rate get up in the 8 to 9%. Again, that's one view. Other views are more aggressive. Some are more conservative. So people love TV. There are tons of mobile cellular customers in the marketplace. What's media flow bring to the table? Well, we try and do several things. One is bringing the best mobile content to the marketplace. We're the aggregator of that content. We want to create that great share with the great brands, and I'll talk more about content shortly. We wanted a real intuitive experience, a great user interface, and Someone on one of the prior panels was talking about the complexity of trying to find what you want on a mobile phone traditionally. One of the things that I think makes Media Flow so unique is you hit a single button to go into the TV experience, period. And if you're confused, the button has a TV logo on it. So your phone's on, you want TV, you hit a single button and you're in live TV. That's pretty cool. That makes it very simple. The concept, of course, is simple, TV on the cell phone, but if you can also get directly into the consumer experience with one push of the button, we think that's really important. The technology stands on its own. We're very pleased, and I'll talk a little bit more about our carrier partners for distribution, but both Verizon is our launch partner and AT&T Singular are both launching Media Flow. Verizon has already launched. The technology is great, and it really is one of those products where until you see it and hear it, you may not believe it. So it's a great technology, a great product. We're trying to put the best content possible, create that, again, great and simple user experience that will be meaningful to the consumer. So from a content standpoint, we're delivering both live TV that is actually simulcast, so exactly what you're seeing on your home TV, you'll see on your phone situationally, depending on the content. And we'll also time shift some of that best content. We think that's really important because the mobile user experience is going to be very different than the home TV experience. If you think about the home experience, 60 to 65% of all viewership happens between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. every day. Mobile will not be like that. Prime time will still be important, but really we believe prime time is going to be in all day parts. Morning drive, lunch hour, early fringe, late night, overnight. We think those are going to be very important times when consumers are out and about and they're going to want to watch and consume their favorite entertainment or news. So both the time shifted and the live simulcast is a primary focus for us. From a technical standpoint, having a separate standalone network is very meaningful to the carriers. Instead of trying to push video down a cellular network, having a standalone broadcast network really allows us to create an experience that 1 million people can watch all at once. This product scales very well, perfectly, frankly, just like a broadcast TV service. There's no problem if there's a single news event or a single TV event that everybody who has a Media Flow phone wants to watch. No problem, no bandwidth issues because we're broadcasting the signals. I already talked about the quality of the audio and video, a real rich of programming from our partners, and I'll talk about that more later. The on-screen guide is as simple as your cable TV guide, truly a grid format where you can see what's coming up next, you can see what's on now. Very simple. Because Media Flow was designed from the ground up with a clean sheet of paper, some of the priorities, obviously the quality of the audio and video was very important, but the channel changing time. We've got a sub 2-second channel changing time, so it's very much like your digital cable or satellite. And finally, power consumption. I think a lot of people have worried about, oh my gosh, if I'm on TV on my phone, the battery's going to be dead. If you can talk on your phone with your existing battery for 4 hours, you can watch Media Flow for 4 hours. So again, a product built from the ground up really to optimize that mobile experience. I talked about launching with Verizon. We're thrilled to death to be in the marketplace with a commercial product. We launched with about 20 markets on March 1st. We're already up to 30 markets. And we continue to add additional markets and we'll continue to go deeper and deeper into more and more markets around the country. We have announced with AT&T Singular, our second launch partner, that they will launch in the fourth quarter of this year, and we're really excited about that as well. So back to the consumer. At the end of the day, this is not like a camera on a phone. This is not like any other feature. This is asking a customer to pay every month for a subscription service. So we have to build the product based on what the consumers really want and need from TV on the handset. So we've spent the last 4 years doing a lot of consumer research, including working with more than 4,000 consumers nationwide to find out really what was important to them. And a lot of these charts have got a little too much information, but the key message is they want an experience like their home TV. They want news, they want entertainment, they want sports, they want kids programming. People think this is a snacking medium. It is not. People are watching entire shows and want entire shows on this cell phone, on this mobile device. And interestingly, and I'll talk in more detail about who we believe the mobile TV, not just the media flow, but the mobile TV adopter is. And the biggest single indicator is not age, it is not sex, but it's really their love for TV. So if you're a person who has digital cable or satellite at home, cell phone customer, you're a likely early adopter of media flow or another mobile TV product. So again, we have done extensive research, and we really wanted to pick apart what some of the assumptions were and either validate or challenge some of those assumptions. So some of the assumptions include that this is more of a men's medium. We really do not believe that. We think that this is equally as desirable and will be purchased fairly equally between men and women, which is great, I think, for the platform. The sense that only sports and news were going to be meaningful, we just absolutely do not believe that. We think primetime entertainment, kids programming, music, all are going to be relevant on the mobile platform. Again, I talked about the snacking. People want short opportunities, but they also really want long form. They want their TV experience like you have at home. The perception that people would only watch when they've got a little bit of downtime. Again, not our experience. Again, we put phones in people's hands. We did ethnographic studies where people had the device for months at a time, and they are carving out time to experience this. It's not just while they're waiting in line and doing things like that. It's at all times, and it really becomes embedded in their lives. And yes, correctly, and as you would assume, when people have a little downtime at the doctor's office or at the store, you know, they'll watch it, or if they're at the airport or maybe even at the gym, they'll watch it. But also, there were a lot of very interesting places that people use the media flow phone. On a date, how's that? First date, probably. Didn't get a second date with that person who was watching TV on a date. We had a guy who was an ice fisherman. It was his companion while he was ice fishing. In the bathroom, that's kind of scary, but the bathroom is a popular place to watch your mobile phone. At work, a very popular place. And just read the other day, one of our customers said he watches it while he mows the lawn on his riding lawnmower. Kind of strange places, but interesting. Really, the conclusion is that it becomes embedded in people's lives. And yes, they're using it as fill-in time, but we had people who were rearranging their lunch hour to be able to watch the show they were interested in. So more specifically, when we take the research we've done and we try and ascertain, go ahead and go to the next one if you would, who that likely customer is. They're people who watch a lot of TV. They're people who tend to have 3 TVs in their household. The national average is about 3. These people have 3 TVs on average in their home. They also spend more than double the national average on their home TV service, whether that's satellite or cable. And they're big TV watchers. They love primetime. They love sports. They love news. And as I've mentioned before, that when we've had the handsets in people's hands, they've watched often in sittings of more than 30 minutes, they'll watch a show. We had people who watched entire movies from start to finish. From a demographic makeup, a bit younger, 18 to 34. Sam on the prior panel talked about his perceived demo as being quite a bit older, and I think that is consistent with a news-type product. But ours, we really believe, is in the 18 to 34 range. Again, equal male and female. A little bit higher household income. Not dramatically higher, but somewhat higher household income than average across the country. Likely to be married with young children, and likely to have some college education. Drill into the early adopter group. We've really identified that there are 5 early adopter groups, and probably not surprising, the tech adopter is a likely group, and that's the young person who will buy any device. They've always got to have the latest and greatest. The second group is also, not surprisingly, the connected youth. They're younger, but they still watch an awful lot of TV. Young men and women in their late teens and early 20s, and they're addicted to their iPod, their MySpace. They're armed with every portable device available. Next up is really the primetime TV watchers, and if you look at that group, 40 hours of TV a week. That's a remarkable amount of TV, but they want more. And they want their primetime shows on their mobile device. The sports fans and news fans, maybe not surprising. I mean, those people want to be connected at all times. They want to know what's going on with sports. They want to know what breaking news is happening in the marketplace. So they're a logical audience as well. So with that foundation of who the customer is, what they really want, we set out to define what was the right launch service. And so we launched with 8 great partners on the MediaFlow device March 1st with Verizon Wireless. Starting with CBS Mobile, Comedy Central, ESPN Mobile, Fox Mobile, MTV, NBC To Go, NBC News To Go, and finally Nickelodeon. We really wanted to serve each of those buckets of news, sports, entertainment, and kids programming. As you drill a little bit deeper and look at the content that we're bringing to the table, and I know this is an eye chart and I apologize, but it includes really the challenge that we presented to those great brands and those world-class programmers is we wanted to bring content to the mobile device that really was consistent with what people perceive when they think of the CBS brand, right? We didn't want the table scraps. We wanted prime time. We wanted live sports. We wanted live news. And if you go down this list, I'm not going to obviously read it to you, but if you look at, we've got more than half of CBS's primetime lineup that we run simulcast and live when it runs on the network. We have David Letterman live and simulcast. But we also creatively take Letterman and program that during morning drive time the next day. So if you didn't see Letterman when it was live and you didn't DVR it, you can watch it on your drive into work the next day. The flagship content from Comedy Central, Stewart and Cole, plus the vast majority of Comedy Central's content is on the phone. On ESPN, John Smelzer talked a little bit earlier about the challenges on the sports rights. Mobile ESPN is and will continue to evolve as the leagues really continue to embrace mobile more and more, but we'll have and have had live sports, including Championship Week basketball from ESPN a few months ago or a month or so ago. Fox, again, primetime lineup. Fox has really blended a great for us, bringing Fox News, Fox Sports, and Fox Broadcast all onto a single service for the MediaFlow customers. MTV is MTV. We have a simulcast of the MTV network, including all the programming that really is relevant to that early adopter group. NBC Entertainment is bringing primetime content, but it's also bringing content from their cable side, from the NBC Universal side, including Bravo and US and Sci-Fi and their other networks. Again, they're blending it onto a single service. NBC News is a product, NBC News To Go is a product we're really proud of that we helped shape with NBC. And that product includes the Today Show live, NBC Nightly News live, but it also shifts to MSNBC and CNBC in different day parts. So we've got a really robust news service, single news service that really delivers great quality live simulcast news 24 hours a day. And news is going to be very important. Again, I mentioned Fox is bringing news from Fox News. CBS is bringing news. And anecdotally, during the Virginia Tech tragedy a couple of weeks ago, NBC News abandoned the schedule and went to breaking news all day. And for those 10 or 12 days a year where there really is important national breaking news, MediaFlow through Verizon and eventually through AT&T is going to be a great place for consumers to know exactly what's going on around the country, around the world. So we're really proud of that as well. And finally, Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon is a great kids brand. It really plays to the broadest group in terms of that kid audience. And Viacom's been a great partner with us, and having Nickelodeon there is really important for that young mother or father who wants to hand the phone to the kid while they're getting impatient, waiting in line, or doing something else. And I would say also the animation looks just great on a mobile phone. So again, we've launched with 8 linear live services. We continue to have discussions with a variety of the programmers who are out there who are interested in partnering with MediaFlow to deliver their content to the marketplace. But we're a lot more than live video. Again, we've launched with live video, with that great channel changing time, with that great audio and video experience. But our technology and our product really has other capabilities, and 2 of those that I want to discuss briefly today. One is Clipcast, and the idea is back to that short form, when you do just have a couple minutes to spare. Through the Clipcast technology, what we'll do is we'll use that broadcast network, and we'll be able to broadcast short form clips that then your phone will cache and catch. And you'll be able to go watch the top 5 music videos, or you'll be able to watch celebrity clips, or you'll be able to go watch the best plays of the day. sports site, or virtually anything else we want to send to the handset. It's different because it's not a VOD service. It'll be on your phone. So we'll broadcast it, your phone will catch it, and it'll look just like another channel to you. So you can go into the Clipcast mode and you'll be able to watch those clips without reaching out and downloading them. They're on your phone, which is a great experience. And that will evolve, and the sky's the limit. That could be a really, really interesting place to do user-generated content. It could be a really interesting place to do virtually any short-form content that you think would be valuable on the phone, whether that's, you know, Letterman's top 10 list, or whether it's, again, a celebrity clip, or anything you could want to do in short form. We'll have that capability as well. So that's one piece of the technology that we'll also roll out late this year, Clipcast. The second technology is called Datacast, and it's a really powerful utilization of a broadcast network. And we show an example. We have several products in development right now. One is a sports score datacast service, where we'll be able to deliver in real time the scores, changes in scores, activity at the 13 major sports leagues and activities that happen at any time. And it's really a powerful tool because you'll be able to say, you know what, I'm a huge Dodger fan, or I'm an AFC West fan, but I don't really care about soccer, but I love basketball. Here are my teams, here are the leagues I want to follow, here's the event I want to follow, and you can customize it so that's front and center for you and your experience. And that's really important if you think about it. Your phone is your most personal device, and I think that's why the ringtones and the wallpapers have been such a powerful way to use your phone. Well, Datacast is another way to do that. And not only can we do that with sports scores, drilling deeper, you can track your favorite fantasy players. You can track anything you want to track within those 13. You can watch pitch by pitch what's happening in a baseball game. Again, without having to refresh, without having to drill in and try and find this content. You'll customize it for yourself. And we're broadcasting all this data at all times, so it'll be on your handset immediately. Two other applications within that Datacast that we're playing with and developing, actually more than playing with, is a weather application where, again, pretty simple concept. Yeah, you can get weather in other ways. But to be able to say, here are the 3 or 5 markets really care about, and to be able to see what the current, the 5-day, the 10-day forecast is for New York, or San Diego, or Los Angeles, or where your mom is in Cincinnati. You can pre-program that for whatever cities you want, or you can go do additional searches and pull up any city you want in the United States and most major cities around the world. Again, it's on your phone. You don't need to reach out and try and find it. It's there. The third example is a stock quote Datacast application, which again is pretty cool. Blast out every second 7,500 current quotes for everything on NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. And again, you can say, here are the 10 or 12 or 20 or 50 stocks I own or I care about or I want to track, or the sectors I'm interested in. Again, on your phone, you've customized it. It's really a personal experience for you. It's not a stretch to think about what Datacast and Clipcast and Linear can all do as we move towards creating what we think the consumer really ultimately wants, which is a great multimedia experience. That it's both live video, live audio, it's clips that are relevant to you and interesting to you, it's data that's important to you, and we can blend all those things together and really create an experience that goes beyond just TV. Again, if you think back to where I started, I talked about the biggest single indicator of who will adopt this service are people who are big TV fans. And the one comment I heard earlier today, Brad from SafeNet was saying that he called this the device of last resort. I don't believe that for a second. I think that the up-and-coming generation, this is a much more relevant device. Being able to have those experiences and to be able to be entertained on your mobile phone for that younger generation is going to be, this could be the most relevant device for that group, and I think that's really exciting for us. So that's Datacast and Clipcast. Can't leave without talking a little bit about advertising. Obviously, this, if you picture somebody watching this device, that's an engaged consumer. They're watching something, and it's a single-person experience versus a household experience. We think that's really interesting. People are also very used to interacting with their mobile phone. It's a natural thing. Cable TV, satellite is working towards interactivity. They want to make it more interactive. People are used to interacting with their mobile phone. We'll be able to do some very advertising things with the device that will be interactive and that will be much more relevant to you. So we can ultimately send a commercial that's different to you than it might be to somebody else based on what their interests are. So advertising on the mobile device we think is great and very interesting moving forward. To wrap it up, what I wanted to do is share, we sent a camera crew out to Las Vegas, which is one of our launch markets, a couple of weeks ago, just to get a sense for what do people think of the experience. And I wanted to share of what they said with you to wrap it up.
Wait, there's TV on that? There's TV on that phone?
Oh, look at that! Wow, it's pretty nifty.
See, this is killer.
You can get like regular TV on this. Oh my goodness.
This is fabulous. It really is.
Damn, that's the hottest phone I've ever seen.
This is more than great. This is fabulous. I'm amazed.
So this is live television?
This is live? How is this possible?
You got all the major networks.
CBS, Fox,
NBC.
ESPN. It's got a lot of channels on here.
Nickelodeon is on. Oh my goodness. I'll never miss my morning cartoons no more.
Punks. All my friends would love this.
The Young and the Restless.
Oh, CSI. Oh, the news. Hey, look, it shows me what's going on in the next hour, too. That's great.
It's easy to navigate through this. This is much easier than I thought it would be.
Comedy Central. Oh, I'd watch this one a lot.
I would never have to miss The Daily Show again.
The Colbert Report, which is all a girl really needs.
And I'm a huge fan of sports, so there's a lot of games that I miss. Being able to catch up on scores on ESPN.
Huge fan of 24. Love 20. You got 24? Okay. I'm in. The picture is spectacular.
Wow, it shows so clear.
Just like it's like having a 42-inch plasma screen TV in my pocket.
The screen resolution is just outstanding, though.
I can't believe how good the picture is. It's amazing.
The screen is pretty bright. I mean, we're out here in the daylight and, you know, I can still see everything there.
It's clear. Clear picture.
I thought that it had a great picture. I was surprised about the picture.
You know what I mean?
I'm actually in broadcast and it looks quite nice.
To see that kind of quality, picture quality in a phone is amazing.
It's incredible.
This is hot.
It's like no pixelation. The picture is crystal clear.
The color and the images are unbelievable. It's like HD TV on your cell phone, basically.
That's it. Thank you very much.
We have time for a few questions before lunch, if you have any. Or are you so blown away that nothing more need be said? So where are we in the LA market? What can we?
You can buy it in the LA market. It has launched in Los Angeles.
Who here has it, just as a matter of interest?
You got
Anybody?
a question over here, Michael?
Yeah.
Hi, I was just curious. It's been out since March, so is there any sales figures, any sense of the uptake for this? And how many, I mean, you mentioned the handset has a particular button. How many handsets is it available on?
I'll start with your last question because it's the only one I can answer. It's on 2 handsets right now. The expectation is we'll launch a 3rd handset in this summer, and then when AT&T launches in the 4th quarter, they'll launch with likely a couple of handsets. And we don't report, nor does Verizon, subscriber uptake.
Okay. How does it work in terms of your current handsets? In other words, you look at it, you decide you love it, you Verizon, you want it. Do you have to wait till the end of your contract, or are there provisions made for that?
That's, you know, you do need a separate phone. So you got to buy a new phone from Verizon, a MediaFlow enabled phone. And I think they're creating discounts and, you know, tying it to multi-year deals. They do some deep discounts on the handset. But I think it varies by market, but you can go to Verizon stores and get all the details.
Okay.
Dan, this information. Memory on the device itself and using it as functionally a DVR, which I believe is what your Clipcast service is. Can you speak to us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's not a DVR technology, and I don't know the answer in terms of how much storage is on the device, but it's basically cache. So we're sending it to your phone. Your phone automatically catches it. You're not directing what it's catching. So it's cached on the phone, but it's not a DVR capability. DVR is something we're looking at and we have a product roadmap, but it's not there today.
Right. Which is one of the reasons you can do one touch, right? If it were a DVR, it would be more complicated. Would you mind identifying yourself too?
Yes, I'm Raj Shanmugraj from Alcatel-Lucent. How do you plan on folding in advertising into your, is it going to be text, is it going to be video, is it going to be a combination of the above?
Probably a combination. Good question. With our launch service, which is linear video, it looks very like what you would experience with your home TV. And we have a partnership with the programmers where they are delivering some national advertising. MediaFlow USA will represent a subset of that advertising in the marketplace. So we'll launch with traditional 30, 15, 60-second commercials. Over time, on like the datacast service, that's made nicely for sponsorship, banner-type ads. As it evolves, we'll be able to do much more targeted and different interactive types of advertising. But at launch, it really is kind of a traditional 30-second spot model.
Questions? Okay. Oh, one last one.
Efrain Rodriguez, TV Network Central America. Maybe it's too soon to ask you this, but is MediaFlow going to international, to Latin American countries, and how the business model will work for that?
We actually have an entire organization who's out there, and actually someone's here from that group back here, Megan, who I can introduce you to. But MediaFlow Technologies within Qualcomm is out there talking internationally to possible partners about international opportunities for MediaFlow. We think it's a great technology and product worldwide. So again, we can hand you off to Megan, who can give you further details of the session.
Okay. All right, let's give Dan a big hand. So if I know a lot of you will want to talk to Dan, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to, he's got a couple interviews he's going to do down in the speaker area, which is actually right to the end of the hall. And then when we're done with that, he'll be available for a while. You'll be able to talk to him. And so if you wouldn't mind saving your questions until then, that would be great. Zahava, did you have a? Yeah. Okay. And then we also have a quick announcement here.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, Danny Wright from Limbo. You may or may not have already noticed that we are running a contest here in connection with iHollywood. And I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Stroud and David and Michael Naughton for letting us do this. There's a chance one of you present today is going to win a 32-inch flat panel television, definition, of course, from Panasonic by playing Limbo. You play Limbo, it's very simple. It's a reverse auction. It's going to go to the lowest bidder, which is the opposite of eBay. And the way we distinguish the lowest bidder is you have to find a number that no one else picks. You get up to 50 bids, and you're bidding, but trust me, we're not charging you for the TV. You will actually win it. You get up to 50 bids, and at the end of the contest, and it ends at 4 p.m. today, the person who has selected a number that no one else picked, and it's the lowest number no one else picked, will win the TV for that amount. We have one small caveat. We've got some great exhibitors here. The exhibition floor is just outside and to the right. What Hollywood and I would like you to do is to make sure that you visit at least 3 of them. You can collect one of these forms right out front here at the registration table, or someone will walk around and give you one, and we'll give you some stars. If you've got 3 stars on your exhibition piece of paper here, qualify. Okay, so 3 things you have to do. You have to be the lowest unique bidder. You've got to be in that exhibition floor at 4:15. That's when I'll make the announcement, between 4:15 and 4:30. And please visit at least 3 exhibitors back there. I'm back there with them, and they're really great companies back there that you could learn a lot from. So that's how you play Limbo. Really appreciate your participation here. I want to wish everyone good luck, and I'm sure you're very hungry. I'll let you get to lunch. The last thing is I lost my Bluetooth headset. So If anybody finds a Plantronics Bluetooth headset, that's Danny Wright. It's mine. Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you. Okay, so lunch is served. We have a buffet out there. Go help yourself. And again, remember, if you want to talk to Dan, he'll be in the speaker area at the end.